Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 2023 full moon, supermoon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel be seen by the YouTube algorithm and getting it out to more people. So, thank you so much for doing so. I wouldn't be here without you guys. You are amazing. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this supermoon in Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have the King of Cups. Now, this makes a lot of sense. We're ruled by the sun, Leo, okay? And right now, the sun is in Cancer. Cancer and Capricorn are sister signs. We're going to be more influenced by the sign that is in the sun because we're ruled by the sun. So being aware of the emotional connection of Cancer energy coming forward is going to be really important. We're about the inner world. The moon is moving us towards the outer world and outer success, outer prosperity, right? Which is also a big part of a Leo's personality. But right now, we're about the inner world and nurturing of ourselves and of others, and about creating our inner world. So that's going to be a very, very powerful thing here. And I'm just seeing somebody bullying a nurturing nature, and that nature being so guided by Cancer that it's really quite powerful. It's really quite intense. And yet somebody wanting to manipulate it. And they have a loud bark. It's like this person can get really frustrated. They tend to yell. They tend to be really intense. So just be aware of that. It moves us then to our spirit energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And here we have devoted reversed. So we are questioning what we are devoted to, or we're finding that things that we are devoted to, things that we said, oh yeah, this is what I want. And we're looking at it now and it's like, is that what I want? Is that how I want to move forward? We're looking at devotion and we're questioning things. We're having certain things come forward in very interesting ways. And it's going to be like, oh, I never thought of it like that, or I didn't look at it like that. And it's going to be very powerful. It's going to be very intense. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we're just knocked a little bit off our game. We have the sun coming forward. Again, that is the quote unquote planet that rules us. And the sun is reversed. So if you come here with a question and you're like, oh, I really want a yes or no answer, sun reverse means no. Be aware of that. We're coming out of a time of being caged, of being overwhelmed. We're having a bit of a hard time letting our heart guide us. That's why Spirit is saying, be mindful that we are so ruled by Cancer energy. Look up Cancer, okay? And read about Cancer during this time, because Cancer, healing, loving, nurturing, the home, those type of connections. Why is it throwing us for a loop? What is here that's causing us to trip? okay? And it can be that it's just a little bit too intense, right? We're looking at making everything perfect and lovely and harmonious, and we're really in tune with the emotions, but the emotions of the world right now seem to be all over the place, and that can really be throwing us, Leo. So be aware of this. This supermoon is 11 degrees, 18 minutes in Capricorn, right? And this supermoon, what makes it a supermoon is that it's much closer to the earth than a regular full moon. And this increases its power. Now, this brings to light what isn't for our highest good and the illusions that we've been kind of wrapped around during this time, but for quite some time. The sun in Cancer, right, and the moon in Capricorn are bringing our inner selves and our outer selves into sharp focus. Again, there's a question about balance here. Are we in balance with our outer world, what we want to achieve, and our inner world and what we want to achieve? Now, the Capricorn full moon has us longing for outward recognition and approval, right? We really want to be recognized. We really want success to come from people saying, well done. So there's self doubt and there's an underestimating of ourself that comes forward during this time. We're going to be like, can I actually do it? It's almost like if somebody doesn't approve of me, if somebody doesn't say I did it well, then I didn't do it well. This sun reverse can also be us kind of just being a little bit off our game because Leo, we like to be recognized. That's part of the Leo personality. And then we have a moon coming in that tells us, really, you should be recognized. People should be telling you you're on the right path or you're doing well. And that can really throw us. So just be aware of this because we care so much of what other people think that we can almost feel ignored and overlooked because we're not getting that recognition that we seek. And the funny thing is, and it's not like haha funny, it's more ironic, is that everybody is seeking that outward recognition. And it's just becoming a bit overwhelming. Like everybody wants to be, attaboy, type of thing, like good job, well done. And everybody's craving it. And everybody's stingy with their compliments because nobody feels like they're getting enough of them. So just be aware of that. Okay, this full moon wants us to approve of ourselves first and foremost above everything else. And really, sit there and say, if you don't approve of me, that's okay. I got me. Capricorn is strongly linked with manifestation and building towards our long-term goals. So what we're going to be looking at here is what are we focusing on? And this moon can kind of throw us because it's so powerful, it's so intense, and we're focusing on the approval of others towards us to find our worth. And yet, here, it's like the secret of this moon is to not care what everybody else thinks. Manifestation is what we focus on. And Capricorn is astoundingly good at manifestation. So here, what are you focusing on? What's important to you? What is guiding you forward? The sun is trine Saturn, which enhances the supermoon because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. This is all about order and structure and doing things by the rules and in the right way. The moon trine Jupiter also has us building towards our long-term goals, just like this Capricorn moon does. And in building towards our long-term goals, because Jupiter is the planet of it's a planet of greatness, all right? So with that energy coming from Jupiter, it enhances anything that it is with. And it enhances the moon, which also enhances Cancer energy, because get this, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So our Cancer energy that's already a huge part of us gets amplified. So now we're looking towards building towards our long-term goals. And this has us moving towards our internal vision. What are we, visualizing for ourselves? What do we want? Kind of like making vision boards. But what is it that we keep on seeing? Because it will become our reality, be it good or be it bad. And moving towards our faith. What do we find as faith? And devoted, that can also be our faith. It's kind of turned upside down. Our faith has been turned upside down. We might be questioning what we believe in or how we want to move forward or what's important to us. Things are going to come into sharp relief during this time. Pluto squared the nodal axis, which is the south and the north lunar nodes. And Pluto is squared the nodal axis, and that's the south and the north lunar nodes. And this will be until November. Now, this dares us to break free from familiar patterns that aren't helping us and that are actually holding us back. But they're trauma bonds. That's what they are. Those familiar patterns that we fall into, that we created when we were small or when we were in a bad situation, right? And we think, why do I still do this? Like, it doesn't help me. But breaking those bonds it's just hard. That's because they're trauma bonds. And that's going to be something that Pluto squared the nodal axis is having us look at. It's having us look at our trauma. And the question is, Can we be like the Fool in the tarot? Can we break free? Can we move forward? Can we, stop carrying what everybody else thinks and carrying our pain with us and say, I'm moving forward towards joy and prosperity. Now, we will always carry our pain with us, but does it have to rule us? Pluto is the planet of rebirth. And if we are opened to this energy, to the energy of Pluto, to moving forward, breaking free, we will be reborn. The nodal axis also deeply runs with our soul, and it operates on a soul level, which is quite rare. And we have this soul level connection that is rare and beautiful. During the full moon, we are also experiencing huge waves of photonic healing light. This increases the spinning of our cells towards healing. Our soul is weaved with this energy, and our soul is weaving with this within our earthly bodies. And we're going to find that we're moving towards healing. We're moving towards heightened creativity. We're moving towards our link with the divine. And there's a sense here that we know there's more. And again, we're just a little bit thrown. We want to move forward in brilliance and in brightness, but there's almost a sense of, I need to hold back. I need to step back. I can't embrace what I truly want, what I truly need. And there's a question mark here, like, how do I move forward to where I want to be for me? With the 9 of Wands, we're battered and bruised. We've been fighting one battle after another, even if nobody sees it, even if we're the only ones that know about it. We can find that we get headaches and body pain. We can find that we are completely overwhelmed. And it can feel like as soon as I stop one battle, or as soon as I feel like I'm on steady ground, another battle starts. And this is something, quite frankly, Leo, we're sick and tired with. And it seems to be an astrological thing that's going on. Everybody is going through this. It's one battle after another. It doesn't seem to stop. And it's like, okay, I've had enough. And what we're going to see here is, how do I move forward for my prosperity? Instead of it just being survival mode, what do I need to do to elevate me, to move me forward, to bless me? And that's going to be a big question. With the 10 of Swords, this is the minor arcana death card, which links us to that Scorpio energy, which links us because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Pluto squared the nodal axis. We're being reborn. The emotions run high. And this is something, seriously, Leo, if you take one thing out of this reading, this is something to take out, is that our emotions running high is quite intense and it kind of throws us. That's why we feel a bit off our game. It's like, I can't shine. Here, I forget how to pronounce his name. It's a okay, I do forget how to pronounce his name in Welsh. But this is the person who was made out of flowers. It's like utter perfection. And it seems like we're looking for the time where it was utter perfection, where everything was right. And we kind of heighten that time in our own minds. So do be mindful about that. Like, there was no utter perfection time. Like, everything was just perfect. It could have been when we were younger because we didn't know all the turbulence that was going on. But be aware of this, that we're kind of looking at things and saying, oh, well, I just need it all to be perfect, or I need to go back to that perfect time. And it just wasn't. So just be aware of this, because there's almost this illusion of everything was greater when, and Spirit's like, no. Here, emotions of others, especially since we're connecting so deeply with the Cancer energy. Now we are, linked to Cancer, and that Cancer comes first, and then there's Leo. So we can be born on the cusp with Cancer. We can have strong Cancer in our chart. But the power of emotions here is something that I just see is like taking you by surprise. And so acknowledging the emotions, acknowledging the turbulence, acknowledging the fact that at times I feel caged and overwhelmed. And this is also overkill. This is overthinking, overanalyzing, putting too much on your shoulders. That's a really big deal. And we're going to see ourselves resurrecting in our own power, looking at all the knowledge that we have gotten in every situation that was overwhelming, because that's how the soul learns. The soul learns through the harsher situations. The soul grows and evolves. And we might say at times, like, it took away my happiness. It took away my joy. It took away my peace. And it's like, yeah, it can for moments, and it can for long periods of time. But as we resurrect, we start to see our purpose. We start to see what we deeply desire. We start to see that we understand more about the world than we did when everything was roses. I mean, we want everything to be roses. It's so much nicer. It's so much easier when it is. But we've gone through a soul's evolution. Be mindful of the overkill. Be mindful of focusing on this time too much. We're coming to a completion of the mind, and we're rising into our power. Now we're finding it hard to move forward with the emotions. Here, focusing on the heart chakra is going to be really important. Focusing on our healing is also going to be really important. And I know I've said this in other videos, but the simple act of smiling can really help us. There are meridian points in our jaw and in our lips. And I was talking to a Qigong master, and he said the meridian points in your jaw are linked to your liver. That's where your anger is held. Your meridian points in your lips are linked to your pancreas. That's where your happiness, not your happiness, that's where your anxiety is held. So when you smile, people say, oh, smile, it tricks your brain into thinking you're happy, it releases serotonin. That was never enough to make me smile through the really bad times. And now I find myself saying, you have to smile. Because if you can release the anger that's held in the liver, if you can release the worry and fear, and my gosh, am I good at worrying and fearing? You will be a happier person. You will be a brighter person. And you will find that people seek you out. They're drawn to you because there's a radiance to you. And when you start, you can feel like, oh, wow, my face hurts. That's how I felt. I was like, oh my gosh, my face hurts me. I'm not smiling all the time. I used to smile all the time. And then life got hard. It got real. It got overwhelming. Here, it's knowing that emotionally we can be dragged down a certain path or feel like we're just holding on. It is time for us to take back the reins. It is time for us to look at our heart and what we love and what we desire and what we want and what we need. There is also a need here to understand that sometimes the emotions might be a bit much. They might be a bit overwhelming. We can maybe need to talk to somebody or have a release that takes this excess, like chaos that is around us, and helps us to deal with it, helps us to settle things. We can find also that we might be having a hard time with water sign energies, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. It brings us to the Five of Swords. We're tired of having the same fight over and over and over again. And we're going to be releasing it. We're going to be stepping into our power and ourselves. We're going to be walking away from saying, no, I have to do this. Like, it has to be seen like this. And it's like, I'm not going to do this. I'm choosing me. And not the argument. And not being right. And not, the victory and being in, the conquering. And we like that. We kind of like, a bit of we like the fight. There's just a thing, Leo energy. We like the tenacity of it all, like the spitfire, brilliance of it. But now it's like, I have nothing to prove to you. I have everything to gain from connecting with me. And it's like, yeah, I have something to prove to myself. And it's that I love you. It's that I'm here for you. It's that I matter. And that's what we're proving to ourselves. Let's see what the moon has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Yet strong Scorpio energy, that Pluto energy, Leo, is really strong here, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, that makes sense. So we're crowned here with the sun reversed, and it says, work through your fears. That's Scorpio energy, the new moon in Scorpio, power with the full moon. The sun reversed is us reversed. Like, we're just a bit off our game. Acknowledging that, understanding that. It's like, okay, this is going to be, it's not going to be, okay. So what Spirit is saying is that it doesn't have to be this terrible time. We don't have to say, oh, well, I'm just writing off this time. It's not going to work for me. I'm just going to be all over the place. And, I'm just going to hermit it away. If we need to do that, do it. If we can do that and have the grace to do that, do that. If you just feel like it's too much. But this is also going to be a time where it's like, you know what? That Capricorn energy of being rather self-deprecating. It's not good for me. It's not good for me to be seeking my approval with everybody else. Work through my fear. And it's work through the fear that a Leo naturally has, okay, and that this moon is playing off of not feeling enough. And then this moon becomes powerful because it amplifies in you what you desire, what you want, what you need, what's important to you, and it moves you forward. It brings you here to, I'm done with all the battles. And it says it's time to release the negativity. We're fighting that. We're fighting this surrender, which we will inevitably do. But we're fighting the surrender of the negativity, of the hurt, of the pain, of the chaos. And it's like, no, but I need this. It's making me stronger. It's fortifying me. And it's like, is it? Is it moving you in the direction that you want, or is it draining us? It's so easy to look at the ugly and to say, I remember that. The beautiful, we think, oh, well, that's beautiful. It's supposed to be that way. But the ugly, the chaotic, the hurtful, the hateful, we tend to remember that more as human beings or just as beings. And in here, it's surrendering to the beautiful, which is releasing the negativity. Just know we're going to struggle with that, to release. And there's a sense here of, I need to walk in acceptance of myself, of what I desire, of what I want, of what I need, and believe in the impossible. The acceptance of coming together. I just heard of the Godhead in you. There's this, I read this story so long ago. I think I was in middle school, and it always stuck with me. And it was about finding your power. And it was about the God's head being hidden within you, because that was the only place we as human beings wouldn't look. And I thought it was just so powerful and beautiful, because of course we wouldn't look inward. We would always look outward for everything. And this is the acceptance that you hold so much power. Believe in the impossible, because you can achieve it. You can achieve what everybody scoffs at, laughs at. Oh, those are your dreams. You think you could do that? Well, somebody has to. Somebody gets to achieve. Why the heck not you? The people who absolutely transport their lives, transform their existence, they believed. Now, they might be outrunning their shadow, right? Afraid that they will always fall back into what they once were. And yeah, that does happen. I see it all the time. But people get to succeed. It's releasing the poverty mentality. It's releasing, oh, not me. I've messed up too much. It's been too hard. It's been too this. It's been too that. No, it's been a hard road, because the power that is in your soul, the power that is in your divine connection is astounding. And it's being amplified if we connect with it, if we turn back to it. We need the beautiful. And that's exactly it. Didn't Spirit just say, it's easier to see the ugly than it is to see the beautiful? It's easier to remember things that disgust us, that are ugly, that are like, ew, that's gross type of thing, than it is to remember the beautiful. What comes up first in our minds, like, oh, I know, I don't like that. But if it's a beautiful thing, does it always play in our mind? Does it play behind our eyes when we go to sleep? No. It's time to connect with the beautiful and see it everywhere. Conclusions are within reach. By claiming that beauty, by claiming that power, you will see, Leo, because you have such radiance to you. You're such a force. It's like, hello, I'm here. That's a Leo. That when you claim this beauty, you shine like the sun that rules you. You're exquisite. Remember this. Peace. Don't let your past hold you back. Because our past is playing such a prominent role in our present, we're not finding our peace. We're not finding our harmony. And we can feel very overwhelmed. Be aware of this. Be aware of this. Once we release the battles of the past and we say that is past, we will start to move forward in the power of the present, and our whole world will change. It really will. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Tower reversed. This could have happened when we were 16. This could be for 16 years, 16 months, 16 days. Things have fallen apart. We had a Tower time. And now we're going to see that we're rebuilding. We're coming out of the rubble, shell-shocked, yeah, of course. Our ears can still be ringing from it. But we have to remind ourselves, I'm not in that battle anymore. I wasn't thrown out of my tower. And think of the tower it's kind of like being Rapunzel, right? You're locked away in this tower. You want to get out. You want to see the world, but it's all you know. And instead of choosing to open the door and be free, all of a sudden somebody decides just to knock it down, and you weren't ready. You weren't ready to leave, to explore, to see, to become. And that's what makes this difficult. That's what makes the tower time difficult. It's when the world says, ready or not, here it comes. And we are just like, okay, be aware of this. Now we're rebuilding. And if you're asking yourself, why am I shaky? Why am I overwhelmed? You watch the tower fall around you. It was like a miracle. It feels like it's a miracle I made it out, right? And now I'm walking forward. Now I don't get to be defined by this anymore. It's defined us for too long. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message. Energy. The energy of this moon, but the energy of ourselves is brilliant. And if we release negativity and we say, you know what? I don't want this. Which sounds so easy, right? And it also sounds like a poster you would hang up in your bedroom when you were little, right? Release the negativity, choose happiness. It sounds so easy. It's so hard to do because the ugly, the negative, it's so easy to just fall into that and say that's all that is. Look at the energy you're choosing. Look at the energy that's building you. Is it positive? Like, is it a good fairy or a bad fairy? Are you a good witch or a bad witch? That type of thing, like the things that we hear in children's stories, which if you think about it, has so much power to it. If we look at the energy, the magic, the power within us, what are we going to choose? It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away from what we once thought we would love. It didn't work out. It wasn't what we thought. And that's okay. Walking away and finding ourselves and connecting with ourselves. But this is hard. Subconsciously, we know that we're ending something. But we also know that it was ended a long time ago. Our subconscious Luna message is extremes. A fiery climax approaches. That's what this time feels like to us. It's like a fireball. It's like, whoa, what is this? A fiery climax approaches. It's time to go after what we need, what we desire. And knowing that, this is a time of extremes, but we're going to find our balance within these extremes. All right. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all. And God bless. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this supermoon and all that it unfolds for us, as complex as it is. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.